Hello everybody, it's Laura here from Greystone Landscapes, back with another indoor plant video. Today we are going to be speaking about the yucca. I've grown to like this one. I've grown to love it. The yucca is a slow growing plant and a very interesting character at that, because his conditions need to be pretty much perfect in order for him to grow. We had a yucca in our cottage that we used to live in, our 200-year-old cottage, and he was never pleased with anything that we did. And eventually he just snapped on the trunk, and the trunk was pretty much like hollow and brittle. It was dead. It was completely dead. The leaves hadn't died off yet, but they were going to soon. The plant, it was big and it just died. Before I get into any kind of description about the yucca or any further details, I want to start off by saying that the yucca can be toxic to animals and children, and therefore, like we do on all our videos, we recommend that you keep them elevated up and away in a safe place. Not only are they toxic, if an animal or a child pulls it over and the pot falls on someone, something, it can cause damage, and you want to avoid that at all costs. Now that we've got formalities out the way, let's talk about the yucca itself. The yucca is a slow growing plant and therefore takes its time. It's chilled. It goes with the flow. No, it doesn't. Okay, it doesn't go with the flow. The yucca needs certain conditions, but it's a chill plant in terms of growth. It's not going to grow rapidly. It's not something that you continually need to be upsizing pots yearly or anything like that. It is a slow grower. With it being a slow grower, it can last for up to 50 years, if not over, if in the right conditions inside. If it's outside, it can last for longer than that. So the yucca plant is a lifetime plant. It can genuinely last you through years and years and years, and therefore can become a beloved family member and really grow into something beautiful. The yucca, unfortunately, needs really good conditions, especially in the UK. It is naturally in a warmer country where it thrives. It will probably do well in quite a dry country because it stores a lot of its water in its trunk, so it is very much drought resistant. But in the UK, it can be wet and damp quite a good part of the year, and therefore the most common issues, I guess with most plants, but definitely with the yucca, is overwatering and the soil being too wet for too long, and therefore causing root rot. Potentially, if the leaves get wet, it can get a fungal infection on it, and therefore the plant tries to fight that fungal infection, removing nutrients from other parts, and it can just be a disaster in terms of allowing your yucca to grow. I would always lean towards advising rather let a plant go a little too much longer without water than overwatering it, especially in the UK. I can't emphasize that enough, because if you are from South Africa, like we are from, where it's warm quite often, or further near the equator, wherever it is, where it's just warmer and drier, you'll probably need to water it a little more. So this is solely advised if you are located within the United Kingdom. In regards to lighting, the yucca needs a well-lit space. It does not do well in a dark office or a dark corner of your house. It is not that kind of plant. It needs to be in a well-lit environment. We have it in our living space on, it's more like I want to call like a table or paperweight, but it's on a bunch of books and it sits there very nicely, and it's right by a window, but it does not like direct rays of sun. So therefore, something that gets sunlight for at least 8 hours a day, but not direct sunbeams. And this is why I say the yucca needs pretty much perfect conditions in order to thrive for a very long time. So definitely put in a spot that gets good sunlight. It'll probably do well in our in our dining room as well, because we've got two really big windows here. But other than that, it needs to be in a well-lit location with non-direct sunlight but good sun. Hope that makes sense. The yucca plant can grow up to 9 meters, if not 10 meters tall, so it can become an absolute monster and a very cool piece in a home. So definitely a plant to look into if you are of medium to experienced plant parenting, but definitely do not avoid it if you want to try out if you're a beginner to plant parenting. It is a beautiful, lovely looking plant. It is very cool and unique, and of course, like most plants, makes wonderful home decor items. I think we need to remove ourselves and completely step away, whatever you want to call it, from artificial and really try our hand at indoor plants. A couple things in regards to feeding, soil, all that kind of stuff. Always, rule of thumb, wait for the spring to do any kind of plant feeding or plant pots transition, just because most plants will go dormant or slow down growth in summer. It's just in winter, sorry. It's just a natural thing. We all kind of like keep warm and try our best to just stay alive. Thank you for watching another plant video with me. If you have any questions about plant, about greystone, about us, about our journey, feel free to ask them. We want to do a bit of a Q&A in the coming weeks, coming months, as we continue on growing our business. So we're always open to hearing if you have any questions about our landscaping or about indoor plants or about growing plants, about anything like that. We are here to help and here to answer. I will see you in the next plant video. We have so many to talk about, so I'm really excited to share them all with you.